I really hope you already watched Little Things, because otherwise I'm spoiling the whole show for you and there's no point. You can click off now. Did I serve or did I serve? If you want a full look, just go to my Instagram. It's free, not like OnlyFans. You know, I thought I should wear a sari because me loving Indian shows is quite rare. And to celebrate that, we're going to do this every time we have an Indian show. So, welcome or welcome back. On this channel, we do a small thing called TV therapy. We discuss, by which I mean I tell you what I learned from a show which I really enjoyed. We don't shade on shows here. It's none of our business to judge the story, direction, acting, because I personally want to stop the stigma around how Netflix is a waste of time. I don't think it is, and I'm gonna make you think it isn't. And this episode is more about me just rambling and being confused about what exactly I learned. Relationships are too complex for my comprehension, man. They're just... I have never been in a long-term relationship. I don't think I'm qualified to do this, but I have been watching them for quite a while, so maybe, whatever. You don't care. But this season really challenged me simply because I have a very anxious attachment style. I'm just not a secure bitch. I was scared for them. At the end of season 3, I genuinely thought it was heading towards a breakup. There can be happiness at the end of the tunnel. I mean, who knows? Marriages can break any point of time. Right. But I love how they navigate codependency. You know, in relationships, it's very easy for one to expect another person to always be there, help you around. And this was a live-in. So if I was in a live-in with my mental health state right now, that ain't lasting. What I'm trying to say is that Kavya and Dhruv can actually put their egos aside and be a part of this relationship. They've fought so many number of times, and I personally, when I fight and I come out of it, I don't exactly forgive. Still yet to learn. Someone please teach me the way they communicate through their fights, and even if it's not resolved, they understand where the other person is coming from, and they're good at asking for companionship. I mean, they do have these expectations for their partner to be there for them, because having expectations is natural, right? But they're not mad at the other person if they don't meet these expectations. That makes them very human, and that makes them very kind.
What was that?
I feel like the communication that both of them have is like the essence of the show, and they show that in such a good way. It's also really philosophical because they show the beauty of the setting and the relationship, but they're having really normal ass conversations. And that way they kind of tell you to not expect perfection from life, which is... we all need that. We all need more love stories that aren't entirely perfect, but they're also perfect because they communicate. Am I making any sense? And you know what I associate the show's name is to tell us to not dwell on the little things, like fights. The bigger picture is companionship, the love you have and hold for this person, and I feel like that's a very beautiful way to interpret it. It's me that important. Oh! And I also feel like Instagram has kind of generalized toxicity in relationship with all these quotes which are like, I gave you everything, but I wasn't enough, or maybe... I don't know. It's very easy to think that you're in a toxic relationship. I'm not trying to disregard people who genuinely undergo emotional abuse, but it's very easy to interpret someone's actions as emotional abuse or gaslighting or whatever. And it's important to know where that person's coming from, the situation, and what you were expecting, and how much have you communicated and everything, right? So I don't think Instagram tells you to introspect like that, and it generalized for everyone. You are reading it and I'm reading it, and it says you to everyone, and we're just ending up thinking that yeah, I'm the right one and the other guy is the wrong one, and other person, we just end up thinking that that other person's enough for you. I feel like that's something has been really brainwashed and generalized for our generation. I'm not expecting us to believe that there is one true love for us, but I feel like our definition of love has become very cloudy. Because of that, when I was watching the show, I constantly kept feeling like, what the fuck? Why is he talking like that? Or why is he yelling at her? Or why is she bringing it up in such a situation? Or something of that sort. And like, we just end up dehumanizing this other person when you're thinking only from your perspective. And I felt like the show really was fresh, get the perspective from both sides and how to enjoy despite all this. And it was also such a calming way to show that, you know, you don't need someone to like profess their love for you in an all out fashion. And that's such a strong, nice message to give, because the expectation of someone always being there for you is a very unhealthy thing. I don't know. And I really like that they get married. I really enjoyed that they can work these things through, because that's kind of like a promising thing to tell your audience and to like not make it so unrealistic. It's so beautiful how the marriage comes into place, because it's not like a catastrophic thing which a lot of us think it would be. Because I mean, I don't know about a lot of us, such a nice thing to show that marriage builds up gradually, and just because it ended on a note where they don't end up getting married in season 3, it doesn't have to be so heartbreaking, because marriage is more about that kind of security and that kind of headspace, you know. I mean, I don't know, bro, I really don't know. And you know, I really love that they live in together, and it's all possible for us 20-year-old somethings. I'm sorry for assuming your age. Being able to live on such own terms does feel like a privilege sometimes, and this show does get backlash because of these easy parent situations and like money also, but I don't think money is very easy for them. They talk about it very much. I genuinely feel like they got where they are by building a lot of trust and communication and effort and consistency, and it is possible when you navigate it properly. I feel like a hypocrite. I mean, I understand that it's not applicable to all households, but it's just nice to know that it's very much possible, and it's not shown in a very only a progressive household way. If you can build your own life, earn your rent, then things might fall in place. I don't know. I hope you got all these points and it helps you with your relationships further in life, because I know it does for me. Yeah, I don't know if this video is going to make it to YouTube, but if you're watching it, now I'm just going to go lie down, fantasize about being Kavya, and not put the effort required for a real relationship. Okay, so bye. And since you stayed till this point, here's the final look.